Okay, hello everybody. I'm looking side to side to make sure all my tech is running as it should be. So just give me a minute. Well, give me a couple seconds and let me just check all the places. So we're live on YouTube. Let me check there and live on the Facebook page. I'll check there. And yes, we are live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube, and live on the Facebook page. Awesome. So let's see. On the live, mute that, but I do want to add, I'm going to add in the comments. Oh, goodness, that's not it. And hello, Instagram. Glad that you are here. I know Instagram is notifying people that I'm live, so hopefully you will be joining me here on Instagram. So let's see. One last thing is to add in the comments. Hold on. Having a little struggle getting the copy that I want to add to the Facebook page, because if you're live on Facebook with me, I won't really know that you're here unless you leave a comment. So you do have to go to this link. I've just put it in the comments. So you can go to that link, talkstudio.com, and let me know that you're here. I think you have to do that. Anyway, it is, I will see your comments coming into this live stream. So I would love to hear from you. If you're here live on YouTube, I'd love to hear from you. If you're live here on Instagram, I'd love to hear from you. Oh, and LinkedIn. Hello. Okay, now we are good to go. And hello, welcome to today's live stream, today's pod vlog blog, as you know, I like to call it. Welcome to Limitless Business Online. I'm Tracy, and I'm so glad you're here with me, either live or watching the replay or listening to the podcast or reading the blog, however you might be joining me. I am so glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about how you talk to yourself as an online business owner. One of the biggest struggles for online business owners, for entrepreneurs, is mindset and the thoughts we have about ourselves and our work. So I hope today we can just talk about it. That's where I would love to hear your comments, either in the replay or here live. I would love to hear from you. Okay, good. Yeah, I was looking for my timer so I don't ramble on too long, but we'll get to that in just a second. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. Once again, just to introduce myself, I'm Tracy, founder of Limitless Business Online. I'm an online business strategist and coach, sometimes fractional project manager, and sometimes tech expert for things like Go High Level platform, which I absolutely love. I help entrepreneurs develop strong structure, also known as systems, implement clear strategies, and give them steady support in their businesses so they can grow their online business with confidence, clarity, and more ease. I've been in the online business space since 2012, and I absolutely love that online business, that online, your business and work is truly limitless in freedoms, like who you can work with, where you can work, and financial freedom. Your financial boundaries are limitless. So I love that too. Now it's your turn. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Where are you joining from? And what do you do in the online business space? If you're watching the replay, of course, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. So today on the Pod Vlog blog, I want to talk with you about how you talk to yourself. I'm sharing this Pod Vlog blog with you in 2025. And literally, when I looked at my ClickUp project management system for today's episode and the ideas, that's where I keep track of my ideas. It was literally 1 year ago that I put this idea in my project space. And that shows you that this is an ongoing struggle for me. And I bet many other entrepreneurs and online business owners. It's especially difficult for solopreneurs, I think, too, just maintaining a positive mindset. So even today, before I hit record, I was really having to work on my self talk. I woke up kind of beating myself up today, and I'm not sure why. But nonetheless, I chose to stick to today's plan of recording this episode, going live with you today. And I know I'll feel great once this is completed, this task is completed. And I hope that you'll feel great with the information I want to share today. I hope that it helps you protect your mindset as a solopreneur or online business owner. So here's a little backstory. As I said, this time last year, I put this idea in my ClickUp project system for my pod vlog blog ideas. And on that day, I was reading in the Bible in James 3 6 through 8 about how the tongue is evil and it can do damage for a lifetime. In James 3 6 through 8, it says, "The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the body parts. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind, but no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison." Wow, that really says a lot, right? I started wondering to myself, and these were the notes I put in my idea when I read this a year ago. I put these notes in. I was wondering if I've done lifetime damage to anyone with my words. And sadly, a few scenarios popped up in my mind of probable dents and marks that I've left in someone's like armor, their shield of armor of themselves, or in relationships that are important to me. But I didn't really think of any lifetime damage like that. This was what really made this idea come to life. God gave me the thought about my words to myself, of how I speak to myself, the words I say to myself, the thoughts I have about myself and to myself. Most of the time, they are not encouraging. They're very mm, kind of cruel, I guess. They're not encouraging or kind. They're very pushy and aggressive. They're just not naturally, I don't naturally have nice thoughts to myself. So, how much lifetime damage have I done to myself because of what I call stinking thinking? Um, I found this really interesting because I'm pretty much a positive person and I am optimistic. I find that encouragement to others comes pretty naturally. And at the same time, I do know that our brains they're naturally geared and tend toward a negativity bias. So why is that? Why is our brain kind of programmed to go toward negativity bias? So, thanks to AI research, thank you, ChatGPT, here are 3 quick reasons. And of course, you can research this more if you'd like, because that's not really the main point of today's episode. But for educational purposes, reason one why we tend toward negativity bias is that it's an evolutionary survival mechanism. In an article by Healthline titled, "What is Negativity Bias?" they say negativity bias likely developed as a survival tool. Early humans who paid more attention to threats or negative stimuli were more likely to survive and pass on those genes to survival. So it was an evolutionary survival mechanism. Reason number two why our brains might tend toward negativity bias is based on research from a platform called EBSCO. It's just a platform that does all sorts of research. They say that our brains have stronger memory for negative events. People tend to remember negative experiences more vividly and for longer periods than positive ones. So that's why our brain kind of goes towards negativity, is because we remember it better. And then number three reason why we might tend toward negativity bias is from Psychology Today, where they say our brains, the title of the article is Our Brain's Negative Bias. And they write, the brain reacts more strongly to negative stimuli. Neuroscientific studies show that negative events trigger greater electrical activity in the brain than positive ones, indicating our brains are wired to prioritize negative information. So this makes sense why we tend to have negative stinking thinking, but it doesn't mean that we have to stay that way. All these facts and more research you can do on your own are what we online business owners, usually solopreneurs, well, I would say especially solopreneurs, really have to pay attention to and battle along the way. We have to protect our mindsets in order to continue in our entrepreneurial journey. How can we battle this negativity bias, this tend toward negativity that our brains want to move toward? How can we battle this? Well, I want to share some solutions with you and invite you to share your solutions with me. I would love to hear how you battle negativity bias, how you protect your mindset, how you reverse stinking thinking. I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts. If you're here live, drop a comment. Let me know what you do to protect your mindset. And I'll also share some ideas that, or some ways that I protect my mindset. So here are some of the solutions I use and continue to use, and I'd love to hear yours. Number one, awareness. So just listening or watching this episode or reading the blog, you are helping yourself to be more aware of the negativity bias, and that will protect you and help you have that first line of defense toward protection. And this is a great first step toward awareness. Next, in awareness, is pay attention to how you're speaking to yourself. I notice when I'm feeling really down, if I'm lacking motivation, if I'm feeling frustrated or unmotivated, sometimes those feelings are actually being caused by the thoughts. So those feelings are caution lights. They're like the yellow light or a red light, even, to pay attention to how you're speaking to yourself. And of course, social media comes into play too with that, because social media can cause us to compare and lead to stinking thinking just from that. So awareness of how you're feeling and what thoughts might be causing those feelings. Those thoughts might be the words that you're saying to yourself. So having awareness is number one. And number two, tool or way to reverse stinking thinking is to take thoughts captive. I know this is what it says in the Bible, and it's a little confusing. What does that even mean? How do you take thoughts captive? That's probably a whole nother live episode we can do another time. But here are two quick ways that I like to kind of take thoughts captive. One is I learned from Brendan Burchard. He is a lifelong studier of psychology and human motivation and human improving your self-performance. And I heard this on one of his podcasts, and he says to himself, that's not fair. So when you notice you have that awareness of something you're saying to yourself that's unkind, then you just tell yourself, that's not fair. That that's not fair. Maybe you say that's not true. So that's one way to take thoughts captive, is to notice them and challenge yourself in your thoughts. The second way to take thoughts captive is from the book Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at the Table by Louis Giglio. Of course, I will link to all the resources that I share with you in the show notes. But Louis Giglio's book, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at the Table, he says to challenge your thoughts with, where did that thought come from? So just noticing, being aware, noticing the stinking thinking and saying, where did that thought come from? Is it true? Is it real? And is this something that God would say to me? Is this something I would say to a friend? So, two kind of challenging thoughts you can have. That's not fair. Where did that thought come from? I like to use both of those, taking thoughts captive. Okay, so the third resource or method for reversing stinking thinking is to turn on some music. I enjoy quiet, and working from home, I work alone a lot of the time, and that's fine by me. But when I'm noticing stinking thinking creeping in, I have to turn on some music. I believe music moves the soul. And so I turn on some music. Sometimes you might need to do this too. Put on some earbuds and turn the music up really loud so you can drown out that stinking thinking. Turn on some really great music that motivates you or inspires you, and turn it up so loud that you can't even hear yourself think. Take a few minutes with music to inspire yourself and reverse that stinking thinking. I find that really helps a lot for me. I used to love being on a drive and just turning the music up really loud in the car, because you can't sing anywhere as well as you can in the car, right? So maybe go for a drive and turn up the music really loud. But music is a great tool for protecting your mindset. I also think using tools and resources from others um, can help you with your mindset and the thoughts that you say, or the words that you say to yourself. So you want to notice how you're feeding your brain. Are you spending too much time on social media? Maybe it's a book or a podcast that you need to spend some time with. Listen to a podcast or read a book that might help you with um, your thoughts and the negativity bias. I love books and podcasts both. I can recommend lots of great ones. Tell me in the comments if you need some suggestions. But one suggestion I will share with you is Brenda Burchard, who I mentioned earlier. His podcast, Motivation, is really great when I'm feeling unmotivated. So listen to Motivation, and that really helps a lot. I also like, I also mentioned Louis Giglio's book, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at the Table. I really loved that one. And I also like Brooke Castillo's method called the model. It's a tool to really download your thoughts. I don't use it as often because it takes a little bit more time, but it is very effective. But this one, you really download your thoughts and analyze what you're currently thinking and feeling, the results that you're getting from those thoughts and feelings, and then you intentionally flip the script, flip the situation that you're in into positive results and a positive action. So, what are you desiring as a result? And what action will it take to get there? So, you kind of reverse engineer the thought, and you choose the thoughts that influence your feelings and actions in order to get the result you desire. So it's a really cool methodology, but it does take a little extra time. If you Google Brooke Castillo, the model, you'll get all sorts of training on how to do this. But that's a really great tool to use. And my fifth and final suggestion for reversing stinking thinking, for giving yourself some positive talk and swinging the pendulum away from that negativity bias is daily prayer and Holy Spirit guidance, asking God for self control and to help you see yourself the way that He sees you, which is with so much love and adoration. He loves us so much. So sometimes that's what I have to do. I just have to pray that God will help me to see myself the way that He sees me so that I can speak to myself the way that He would speak to me. And those are some of the ways that I protect my mindset and reverse the stinking thinking. I'm curious, what tools, resources, methods, what do you do to protect your mindset? How do you reverse your stinking thinking? Drop it in the comments. Let me hear from you. I would love to hear more from you, and um, let's learn from each other. Whatever you share will help me learn and help others who will see your comments learn other ways that they can protect their mindset in their entrepreneurial journey. Like I said earlier, as entrepreneurs, online business owners, solopreneurs, we really have to pay attention to and battle for positive mindsets along the way. We have to protect ourselves from negativity bias, and our brains want to go in that direction. So we really have to work hard to protect ourselves from doing that. So, because we want to, number one, protect ourselves from lifetime damage, that the Bible says, that the tongue will, um, speaking evil, that the tongue comes from hell, and listening to the words of your thoughts could do lifetime damage. So, we have to protect ourselves from that. And number two, we want to continue in the entrepreneurial journey so that we can bring the special gifts, the callings, the products, the services to people, to others that will help change the world we live in. That's what entrepreneurs do, right? So I hope this is helpful for you. I want to thank you for listening in, watching the replay, or reading the blog. I'm so thankful to be able to share my thoughts with you and that you're willing to listen. So, at this time, will you share with me how you protect your mindset as an entrepreneur? Depending on how you are receiving this episode, you should be able to comment down below, and I'd really love to hear from you so that I can learn from you and together we can encourage other entrepreneurs. So I'm going to sign off, say goodbye for now. Leave your questions, leave your comments, and I'll see you back here. The plan is next Thursday, same time, same place. Until then, I hope you have an amazing week.